Welcome back to Cigar Exploration USA. Today I've got the SAISON. This is an OLIVA cigar. This is their 2009 first harvest. It's got two beautiful cigar bands on it. It's a torpedo. It's like about 6 by 50, something like that. It smells like leather, spice, tobacco. It smells good. I've also got this Four Roses single barrel. This is the one I've been waiting for. This is the OESO. I'll explain all that a little bit later, but if you've been watching my channel for a few months now, you know I'm a giant fan of these Four Roses single barrels. Featured it on my channel a few times. This is their newest one. This is the one I've been waiting for because of that rich red fruit. See that on the back there? This is 100 proof, 48 bucks in my local PA liquor stores. I was probably lucky that I got it. All right, let's get this cigar cut. I'm just gonna put a V cut on it. What are you guys drinking? What are you guys smoking? All right, piece of cake. Well, so OLIVA cigar, so pretty much expect to get some coffee out of it. A little cocoa, just leather, cocoa. Mostly just leather though. All right, I got a V cut in it. Get it toasted up. All right, here we go. It is muggy and humid and hot out here. But the sun's behind those trees, so I think I can handle it. I'm just glad it isn't raining like it was. It rained here every day for a week and a half, I think. I mean, it just was relentless. Somebody should make a video on just how different it is lighting a cigar when the temperature is like this. It's like cooking on the grill. That was interesting. Almost got some fruit or something there. Smelled good. Almost like toasted, like a toasted apple, like a chip. You ever have like a dry apple chip? That's what I got a little bit there. Yeah, somebody should make a video on how different it is, like when you cook on a grill, when it's cold outside or cooler outside. Same thing with cigars, from what I can tell. I mean, you'll burn your whole cigar all up. Okay, so it went from leather and spice to just creamy leather, like that's nice. Yeah, that's actually really nice. And that pepper spice. Like torpedoes a lot. It's a good mouthfeel compared to a regular standard cigar. I don't want to sound cliche like everything I do on my channel is so exciting, but I'm really excited for this Four Roses. All right, so it comes with this little tag that tells you about it, but you can just go online. You just go on their website or wherever you find information about this stuff. I've never had one of these that disappointed me. It's not the most expensive offering in their line. They have a single barrel select, I think, but these single barrels for me are my favorite. A pretty weak cork pull. I think I half did that myself. There we go. It's a little better. Yeah, so I'm not going to say this is going to be sherry cask-esque, but I think it might be a little bit with the rich red fruit. They always have a nice cork, nice, wood or faux wood, but it looks like wood. You're going to zoom in on there? Oh, it's picking up the bottle. There we go. Still picking up the bottle. There we go. Just likes that bottle so much. I just expect nothing but greatness from this, like literally nothing but greatness. Especially from this one. This is the tasting notes are rich red fruit. So they had 3 more before this. The OBSF is the one that started all this crap with these single barrel selections from them. That one won a bunch of stuff like last year. And they've put out 3 other ones, this being the 3rd and final one of the year, from what I understand. Now, I'm not sure, but that's what I think, that this is the last bottle for the year. So we'll see what we've got. I'll let this thing air out. Just a teeny bit. Yeah, I get apple right away. I'm not getting the brown sugar like it says though. I'm getting apple. I'm getting some wood. I'm absolutely getting like plum or something else too in there. Maybe cherry or some other red fruit on this thing. Ooh, yeah, a lot of vanilla there and a lot of caramel stuff as well. All right. Enjoy the cigar a little bit and then we'll get to this. So they all start with O because the O is a designation for Four Roses. And then the S is always the third letter because that stands for straight whiskey. So then the second letter is either going to be a B or an E, and that's the mash bill. So it's either high rye or lower rye, depending on if it's a B or an E. In this case, this one is an E, so it's going to be a lower rye content in the mash bill. And then the other letter is is either a VF, K, or a VO, like in this one. And that's just the designation for the sort of note in it. So I think the F is floral. I think the O is, I don't think. The O is for the rich, ripe red fruit or whatever. And then the other two have a designation as well, the other two letters. If I see an OLIVA cigar that's reasonably priced, I just go ahead and try it because they never let me down. I mean, I'm getting coffee beans in here, like I said, like a creamy leather, which is a strange way to describe anything, any flavor, because last time I checked, most of us don't eat leather. But it's just this sort of, it's hard to explain that, but it's almost like if you licked a piece of leather that had some like cream on it or something. It's hard. It's definitely an acquired taste, I'd say, a leathery taste in a cigar. But I've come to really like it. I mean, there's not much I get from cigars I don't like, except for sometimes there's this sourness that you get in a cigar, and that's the only real note that I can honestly say that I don't like that it makes me want to put the cigar down, is when it's a sour taste. Everything else, pretty much. That's why I said I'm bad to come for reviews. This is just exploration, because most things I try I think are good. I've gotten this in the last couple cigars I've tried too, and I'm getting rubber in this one too. That's kind of just maybe the person's palate. I just pick it up as rubber, whatever that is. Could just be the tobacco. It's very interesting. Draw on the cigar is good. It's not wide open, it's not closed. It's like perfect in the middle. Like I said it before, I love the shape of it. Torpedoes are one of my favorite shapes on a cigar. Okay, so we've talked about it. All right, so again, vanilla, brown sugar, which I didn't get at all. Yeah, excited. Four Roses, I've mentioned this before as well. They price their things really, really strange. That's why I said this bottle was $48, not $50, because it wasn't $49.99 or $50.99 like most of them do. It's like that $47, $48, $49 thing doesn't exist. Once you get over 45, they just jump right to 50. These guys don't do that, at least not here in Pennsylvania. They had this special one right next to the regular one, $47.99, so $48 in my Pennsylvania liquor store. Not the closest one to my house, but one that's pretty near to me. If I wasn't loading up on other stuff, I bought 2 more of the Thomas S. Moores. I love those. If I wasn't loading up on other stuff, I was gonna buy more than one of these, but I also didn't want to be greedy because first of all, I don't really know it's gonna be good. I know it's gonna be good. I already know without even trying it. But didn't really know for sure, obviously, until you taste it. And I think there was 3 bottles of it. I grabbed one, so there was 2, and I didn't know if they had more. I know it's a limited offering, so cheers. Wow. I'm not just saying that because I love this stuff. I'm not just saying this, I can barely talk, it's so good. That is phenomenal. That is their typical single barrel, which isn't typical, but the one they sell you, just amped up. It just has more stuff, it just has more fruit. I'd say more, it's gonna get better too. It's gonna get better in the next 10 minutes. Because now I got the brown sugar on the smell, which I didn't get until I tasted it, and the vanilla is just now pouring out. I'm surprised vanilla is not just everywhere, because it's just pouring off of it now. Like instead of alcohol, you know, ethanol, whatever it is, instead of that, I'm just getting vanilla. Like I could just live with my nose in this glass. Which is a contrast to other stuff recently I drank that was 100 proof like this and just dumps alcohol into your face. This is so, my mouth's just watering. I've only had 1 sip. My mouth's like, where's that second one? It's so refined. You can just tell somebody spent some time on this and some effort. Especially from a big manufacturer. I mean, this place isn't Jim Beam, but it's big. I mean, just past couple years, I go down to the Jersey Shore, and now this stuff's in every bar down there. Not this stuff, but their stuff. Their 80 proof entry level offering. I can barely talk. There's so much saliva from how delicious that is. This is scary stuff. This is drink more than you want to drink stuff. For sure. Now the cigar with it. Oh wow. A lot of toastiness. Woodsy, kind of campfire, toasty, like bark and sticks. You know, maybe you don't, but if you know, wood and sticks smell different than wood do when they burn, like chunks of wood. Pieces of a tree. I know sticks are pieces of a tree too, and I guess it's my guess. Just popped in my head is the bark to wood ratio. On a stick, you've got not as much bark as wood, but close. You know, on a thin stick. Think about it, right? But on a big ass piece of wood, you know, a big ass chunk of a tree is going to be obviously tons more wood than bark, even though the bark is going to be an inch thick or something. Just reminded me of sticks burning. Like when I was a kid, we would just grab a bunch of sticks. I didn't live in the middle of nowhere. I lived just outside of a city, but it was like a neighborhood, like a townhouse neighborhood. But it was kind of on like a hill, like in a mountain. And there was tons of houses. Like our house was next to another, we were touching, our houses were smushed together. That's what a townhouse is. And this other, I had a kid next to me. He was like my best friend, Mike. And, but right behind every house, because it was built into like the side of a mountain, it was just woods. So even though I didn't live in the middle of nowhere, or lives, you know, like people have ranches or all this stuff, you know, I had like a mountain behind my house essentially. So we would go back up and raise all kinds of hell. You know, so one of the things I did all the time was start a fire with sticks. I'm lucky I didn't burn that whole mountain down, probably, in hindsight. This has a nice wrapper on it too. It's smooth. It's a Habano, so it's got I like Habano wrappers a lot. And wow, look at this. I'm actually smoking a cigar that's not box pressed, since it seems like lately that's all I've been smoking are box pressed cigars. And I'm not complaining about that either. I love me a box pressed cigar. That's for sure. My favorite. Just wants to focus on that bottle. I don't know who's the star tonight. I think the bottle might be the star tonight. Even with an OLIVA cigar. I tried to put something up against this this bourbon that was gonna, you know, maybe hold its own, an OLIVA, but this thing, 2 sips in and I'm in love. I gotta try not to drink all this. Just because if you can't get your hands on another OESO, you know, how are you supposed to compare it? Maybe they'll come out with another OESO next year. And I'd like to, this is the kind of bottle that you actually keep a little bit of it, maybe half the bottle, something like that. Absolutely, because you never know. Here's that little cigar cut. Some people care about that stuff. I'm sure most of you don't care. But yeah, next year if they come out with one and I'm lucky enough to grab one again, it's just random chance because I was waiting for this one that's the rich red fruit to drop, and it just happened to come out, or just happened to be available when I walked in the store. I wasn't even there searching it. I was just checking out the store, seeing what was going on. So I got a PA liquor store, obviously, fine wine and good spirits. They finally did some good stuff though. I used to bash them on this channel all the time because they would never list their sales. You'd have to scroll through, you could search just bourbon or rye or whatever, Irish whiskey, you know, Scottish whiskey, whatever you, Scotch, whatever you like. And you could search on the web, but you had to go page by page and look at each listing to see if it was on sale. Well, they finally, a couple months ago, and I should have given them credit before now, but they finally put out a sale list. So every month you can Google their sale list and look, and it'll just give you by categories. It's like a black and white, you know, it looks like it's a PDF or whatever. And it says on there, you know, bourbons, it gives you and it just tells you which ones are on sale. Some of us are trying to explore and try new things and want to just see what's on sale so we can decide if we're gonna spend money on something that we otherwise never would or wouldn't want to, or whatever the case is, right? So they finally did that. And so around me there's four stores. 2 of them are pretty small, and 2 of them are, again, I must smell so good. These flies love me. So 2 of them are kind of small. 2 of them are decent sized. In Pennsylvania, they sell wine with spirits. It's fine wine, good spirits. In Virginia, they just sell spirits, which is awesome because you go into a little store, like a shopping mall, like a what do they call those things? Malls that are off by themselves, kind of strip mall. So you go into a little strip mall store in Virginia. Well, they got a shitload of stuff because they don't have any wine in there. All they have is booze. All they have is spirits. Well, and cordials and, you know, liquor. Anyway, so finally now, Pennsylvania, near me, they got these 4 stores. One of the 2 bigger ones is closing, but they're reopening. They bought a Chuck E. Cheese. It's a freestanding Chuck E. Cheese building. And they bought it, and they're turning it into a fine wine. It's going to be probably double the size it was. So remember, 2 small, 2, that's called mediums, 2 mediums. One of the mediums is closing, which sucks, but it's reopening as a giant one, like a freaking, they better just have everything. There's no reason now not to just have everything at that one store. You know, everything that Pennsylvania carries, everything, they're not going to just all of a sudden have, you know, Pappy Van Winkle or whatever it's called, but they should have everything that's on their actual website that you can search from them. Just realized I didn't do a retro this whole time. Now that creamy leather just gets spicy. You just got spicy leather. which again, I'm not complaining. I don't know if anything can bring me down right now. Flies, this ridiculous humidity or muggy, whatever this is, this out here, nothing can bring me down right now. I'm loving this. These two are, whew, I've been picking them lately, the pears. I know, toot your own horn a little bit more. Ooh, that was so woody and toasty. More of those sticks, those burning sticks that I was talking about. All right. Whew. Just vanilla and that brown sugar now is shining. It wasn't even there until I tasted it. I could not smell it. And I was a little disappointed. I couldn't smell it either. I want that brown sugar. That's not a thing I get from many whiskeys, brown sugar. You know, no age statement on here, but this stuff's got to be, I want to say 6 to 8 years old. If I'm wrong about that, leave me a comment, but there's no way anything's this good that's under 6 years old. No way. So what are they doing? So they're tasting each single barrel. Dudes, you know, people, chicks too, are tasting each barrel and then deciding its designation, deciding that it's going to be an OBFF or whatever, or an OESK, just based on the flavor profile they get. How many people do that? How long does that take? Like, is that 6 people, 4, 8 people, whatever amount of people? Walking through a warehouse, literally taking that cool metal thing and jamming it down into the bunghole and pulling it out, and everybody has a glass and they're just going doo doo doo, and everybody's tasting it, and then they're writing shit down. Are they doing more than 1 barrel at a time? How's that? I need to know how that works. I'll tell you what, if I ever have any hand in any distillery or any cigar, either of these two things, if I can ever get my greedy little hands into any of it, not greedy, but my little mitts into any of that stuff, I'm gonna make videos about that process. Even with the cigars, I want to see them take the leaves and bunch them and pull and decide. I want to see the process of decision making as to which leaves were taken from where and why, and how that's done, and especially on a consistent level like that. I've only gotten bit twice out here already. It's brutal. It's brutal this year. And I want to, like, I have tiki torches and bug zappers and that kind of stuff. I'm hesitant to buy those products that have, it's like a repellent light, or like use a battery for it, and it creates like a radius where bugs don't. What am I breathing in there though? You know, is the bug bite as bad as whatever chemical I'm breathing so that bugs don't come around me? I'm just wondering, you know. That's why I'm hesitant to use that kind of stuff. But I somehow got bit on this hand, which I guess I'll watch the video back and see. I got bit twice on the same hand during this video just now. And not by like a fly, by like a mosquito or something. It's wild. I thought about just running a big ass fan on me the whole time, but that just makes the cigar smoking not as enjoyable for the cigar smoker nor the viewer. I would have to assume that watching smoke just blow back is not going to be good, and probably doesn't help the cigar burn real good either. Yeah, I've had some really good combos in the last week and a half, 2 weeks now. I've been setting them up and knocking them down, but this one might be my favorite. I mean, this is just, wow. I was watching Daniel at Wizard Academy Whiskey Marketing School, and he said something that I'm gonna steal, but I'm gonna admit that I'm stealing it from him. But he said that, so I spoke at that DBL the other day, the DBL Extra Viejo, extra age, that's what it's called. I can't believe how bad those bites, that's crazy. I'm not gonna show you because it's gross, but it's like, it's just insane. I guess my hand was under the table like this, and I just got ripped up down here. Anyway, so he said that, I try to describe those DBLs, and I always say chewing tobacco, but he used a term, and he used it, and he said it was like pipe tobacco. Duh. That's more like it. It's more like pipe tobacco, or maybe some combination of the two. But chewing tobacco's, I don't know. But yeah, that was so good. He was describing something. I think he was talking about something. Him and his. I feel like it was him and his dad smoke cigars. I hope somebody I think he likes, his brother or his dad or something, and he was talking about pipe tobacco in a describing a whiskey, a cigar blend whiskey. All right, as always, I am not in an ash competition with anyone that I'm aware of. So I've got more than an inch here. I'm gonna ash this bad boy. You can see the burn line. It's real good. You can see the ash is about to fall though. It's got a real nice burn. It seems like no matter what cigar I look at, sometimes I'll look at cigars after the fact, and people will complain that certain cigars have bad draw. That's happened to me on here. Like I've got plenty of videos where I had bad draw, but knock on wood, lately I have been just getting lucky, where my draw is, this thing, the construction on this thing is just perfect. I'm scared to put my hand on that table now. Yeah, spicy leather. Spicy, creamy leather. Spicy, creamy leather and coffee beans, which pretty much sums up most OLIVA cigars as far as I've had. Got me good, man. Well, enjoy my blood. Enjoy my blood bug that has it now. Have fun tonight with my blood flying around. Yeah, I think their regular single barrel, if I'm not mistaken, talks about apricot. This one doesn't talk about that. I think this one went to another level, where apricot, tomatoes, I don't know, tomato. I never know how to say stuff that I don't usually say. So I think this one's just a level, because it looks like a sherry cask. It's so red. You can see how red it is. I forget what my thumbnail picture will look like, but I'm sure it's super red in that picture. But yeah, it's just an amped up, in my opinion, it's just an amped up single barrel. If you liked apricot, that's like what, an orangish yellow. This is more red, rich, ripe fruit, like it says. That brown sugar on the nose is crazy. And it's amazing you can tell that it's brown sugar, not that it's just regular sugar. It has that sort of, it makes you think of baked stuff. It makes you think of rich desserts, like, it's like, you know what Bananas Foster's is? You ever go to a restaurant and they, this fancy restaurant, and they come out and they light it on fire? And it's like bananas, and I think it's cognac, depends on where you're at, maybe rum, and it's, they light it on fire, and let the alcohol burn off of it. It's like, this is an Apple's Foster's in a glass. An apple and cherry Foster's. An apple and raspberry Foster. How am I gonna keep my late night hands off of this stuff? It's tough when you've got a little selection and you're kind of done drinking whiskey for the day and you're just looking at that and going, boy, a little sip of that would be nice, or I could just do a little tiny pour of that. This is gonna be a tough one to keep my little hands off of at night. Here's something you can invent and become famous. I probably shouldn't even say this because somebody will do it and then never give me any credit, but I'll just say they never watched this video. This would be a really good one though, for real. You make a little portable thing that is like the size of a pack of cigarettes or something. Whatever size it needs to be. Not too big though, because this is something people are gonna take to festivals, you know, music festivals or concerts, whatever. Outdoor stuff, on boats, and some guy on his back porch making a cigar exploration video. But when you get a bug bite and you first feel it and it hasn't really set in yet, and it hasn't like the poison essentially, because they pump poison into you to numb you so you don't feel them extracting your blood, and then when they leave it in you because they're pieces of shit, you know. They could take that fucking poison with them, excuse my language, and keep it. But anyway, and then so this device would literally like just neutralize that venom poison inside of you. You could just kind of stick it on there and it would get rid of your problem. That would be a hell of an invention. Because right now I have two problems. I can get rid of both of them with that thing. How many pour? Did I do more than one pour? Or did I just do one pour? I think I just did one. My new format is making it tough. There's too much stuff going on here. I like it. I hope you guys like it too. The old format of sticking the camera up my nose, just think this might be a little bit better than that. But anyway, so everything's in my way now. I'm like reaching around stuff, and until I get used to it, I'll put this over here maybe, but I'm gonna need it in a second anyway, so. Oh man. Oh my God. Oh, Four Roses single barrel. You've outdone yourself, but now you've made your other one tough to like as much as this one. It all comes in phases though. You know, right now I'm just into sherry cask. I'm just into that ripe, maybe it's summertime. I'm just into the fruit. Like I want that, like I want a punch of red fruit, and this is giving it to you. You know, and them sherry cask, Thomas S. More, those are like my favorite right now. They give you a nice punch. This is only my second pour, I can tell. Second and last one for a good amount of time. Gotta save you. Gotta save you. Gotta hide you somewhere. Put you somewhere where I can't get to you, where I can't find you. Yeah, this thing's just a little. It just says introducing it, and just basically says you know, that OBSF that I talked about, that was the first one that came out. That won the awarded World's Best Single Barrel in 2024. Now, it was Whiskey Magazine, World Whiskies Award. So it's just one. Now, Whiskey Magazine might be the top. This is how little I know about whiskey. Whiskey Magazine might be the top whiskey reviewer in the world. Maybe that's like the big dog, but I didn't really think people care about magazines, but it could be an online publication too. But yeah, so this is a 4-letter recipe code. Yeah, that's what I said. Okay. Stuff. Gotta cut my grass tomorrow. I think I'm gonna make a video about yard cigars, like yard cigars, cigars that people smoke when they're doing yard work and stuff. You know, there's people that smoke cigars while they're working. You know, people that do actual, you know, landscaping and work like that. But every once in a while, when I'm in my yard for a few hours, I'll smoke. I don't do it every time. It's just when the mood hits me. But I've got a specific stick right now that I think I'm gonna make a yard gar video out of. My guess was like a 45-minute smoke on this, but I think I might make it a little longer. I'm only about halfway, if that. Somehow, I don't know how. Talking too much about whiskey, I guess. Talking a lot about whiskey, I guess. I don't know. I wonder what made them take the designation of O, because, you know, for this, right? So this is the OESO. Remember I said the O stands for 4 roses. Why O? Why not an F or an R? It's your thing. You can do whatever you want. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's got that sugar, the brown sugar, and the alcohol, and the vanilla. It's just a apple raspberry Foster's. Tell you what, I think I've only had Bananas Foster's once. I think I like shared it. I was out to dinner and somebody ordered it, and like I had some of theirs, or they got it for the table and I had a couple spoonfuls or something. I know it was good. I don't really remember it exactly. But next time I go anywhere, if they have that, I'm ordering that for sure. For sure. Not exactly a young man anymore, so when I go out somewhere like that to a nice place, which isn't all the time, but when I do that, I will literally order like the whole meal in my head. Like, I'm not ordering no tomahawk 24 ounce, 28 ounce steak, because as good as that steak is, I'm not a big like take it home kind of guy, package it up. So I'll get a smaller steak with a nice vegetable, you know, or maybe even just a salad and then a steak with maybe like a little side or something. Like if they're known for their cream spinach or their carrots or something crazy, like something they make that's special, like a salad, steak. You know, we're obviously talking about a steakhouse here, at least I knew we were. You don't know what's in my head. I'm just rambling on. But, you know, steakhouse, you get a salad, a steak, little steak, like an 8 or 10 ounce steak, something like that. Something nice. Not too nice, though. I'm not a spend $100 on a steak kind of guy either. You know, 50 bucks, something like that. Hopefully something nice for $50. And then, you know, save room for dessert, essentially. And even if you don't eat it all, or even if you share it with somebody, you know, if you're watching what you're eating. The place has like a specialty ice cream dessert, you know, something they make in-house that's like a, there's this place in Ocean City, Maryland. It's called The Hobbit. And it used to be, it was always like a fine dining restaurant, which I'm not a big fan of fine dining. I like steakhouse stuff. You said the last meal, you know, where are you going? I'm going to a steakhouse. But it's a fine dining place. It always was. It used to be kind of like stuffy and old, and they renovated it years ago. And now it's like chic. It's like fine dining, but it's like, you know, pretty upscale. They have this thing called Mary's Delight, or Mary's Dessert, and it's like an ice cream pie that they make. That's what I'm talking about. Something like that. Something that's like special, you know. So here's there's my bug bites, and here's the smaller foot band, or sorry, the smaller of the two cigar bands. It's really hard to see right now. I really can't see nothing. There we go. Yes, no. Focused in on my hand. You see it says First Harvest. It says First Harvest. Wow, it's really good. Sometimes it gives me a hard time. Usually I can do all right here. This one's really being difficult. There we go, there it is. So First Harvest 2009. I don't know what that means, honestly. I'll try to do a little research into it and check, see what it means. I mean, the obvious is that this tobacco came from a harvest in 2009, which was now 16 years ago. I don't imagine that this cigar tobacco is 16 years old, but maybe it just means the first time they made this cigar was 2009 and this is now newer tobacco. You would assume for $9 a stick. I mean, if this tobacco was 16 years old, you would think we're talking more than $9 a stick here. The leaf, the Habano wrapper is so smooth and creamy. Yeah, this stick did not disappoint. I'm sorry, Cigar, that you were up against this. I mean, you're not really up against. You guys are friends. You know, one complements the other. But seems like one always seems to take over and be the star. It's a really good cigar. If you can get this cigar for $9, a SAISON, SAISON, get it. My guess is this is about a 50 gauge, 6x50. Maybe it's a 6x52 sounds like a pretty common size. It might be a 6x52. It's not a very big gauge though, so I think it's a 50. My guess is 50. Hey, this cigar's been hanging out 40 minutes now, a little over 40 minutes, so it could be a 6.5 by 50 or something. It could have been a little bit longer. It's not a Churchill. It wasn't 7 inches, but as far as I know, in order to be a Churchill, you have to be 7 or more. That's what she said anyway. Put this cigar over here and let it chill out a second. If anybody wants to argue with me that that's not worth $48, just leave me a comment. We'll be talking, no doubt about it. That is a crazy $48 bottle, which is really nice that they do that they give us, you know, both. I mean, Pennsylvania has whatever percentage markup they do on the bottles. You know, my guess is, depending on, you know, who they're doing business with, it varies depending on who they're doing business with. But I mean, you're nice. They're nice. Both Four Roses and Pennsylvania are nice to give you that for $48. I do not say a lot of nice things about Pennsylvania's liquor system, but they've been better lately. I think they figured out that they can make some money. The one small liquor store that I talked about earlier, there's 4 of them that were close to me. There's a whole story behind that, but the one small one, the closest one to me, just recently in the past couple months ago, took out like a big section of bullshit out of the store, like shit that nobody's buying, like, and not even like the Di Serranos or the Tuacas or the whatever the cordials are, the lower proof liquors. Not even that section. It's like some other bullshit thing they had, like margaritas and shit, like pre-made pouches. I'm like, get that shit out of here. So they got rid of that and put a whole addition. Like, they basically, long story short story long, they doubled their bourbon section, their whiskey section. They doubled it in size, in shelf space, and it's full. You know, it didn't take long. What's funny is they got rid of this. You know, not this fancy single barrel, but the Four Roses regular single barrel. I can't get that down the street from me. I got to go to one of the other 3, the 2 medium ones. The 2 small ones, neither one of them has the single barrel Four Roses anymore, which I thought was strange. They must just not have been selling enough of them. They probably figured it's not worth the shelf space, but they still have the three other Four Roses offerings, which is their 80 proof entry level, which is fine. It has a distinct kind of Four Roses profile flavor, and then their their select small batch select. I know it's just they have the entry level 80, they have small batch, and then they have small batch select. And this is the 3rd most expensive. It goes the entry level, small batch, this, and then small batch select. And I have not tried the small batch select on its own like this. I've tried it, I've had a pour of it, and it did not, to me, make sense for me to get away from the single barrel. The single barrel to me is their premier offering. It's my favorite. So I've had all 4. And now I've had their regular single barrel and one of their 4 fancy single barrels. So they have 5 single barrels now. I gotta try the other 3. There's gotta be somewhere that has it. Like, you can get a pour of the, I gotta try the OBSV, which was the one that won all the awards last year. Or won the award. One good award, whatever. Wow. This cigar is... This cigar got better. Like, it just got better and better as it went. Yeah, just leather in your face. Like you got kicked with a freaking leather boot in the face. In like a good way, if that makes sense. When I was younger, I went to a Marilyn Manson concert. I'll never forget, Godsmack opened for him, and then Marilyn Manson came out. This was like the heyday of Marilyn Manson. It was like when he had that Dope Show video out, and I knew a guy that knew somebody that worked for him, or whatever. You know, who knows if any of that shit's even really true or whatever. I mean, I'm not lying. This is what I think or what I was told or whatever. And so I got a ticket. It was like a free ticket. and I was up like on this little ledge, kind of by the stage where you could really see, but I wasn't like in the mosh pit or I was kind of in the VIP little spot. But Marilyn Manson had on those weird boots that are like, they like tied up to they were like thigh high boots. But like the heel on them was like, it was like this crazy, like, I don't know. Basically, he had to practice walking in those things. Like he had to have before he performed in them. And he kicked this guy in the face. It was like, he kicked this guy so hard in the face that the guy transported out of our dimension into another dimension. I was looking right down, and I should have been smoking a cigar, but I didn't smoke cigars then. This is so many years ago. I don't even want to tell you how long ago it was. Well, you could do the math if you know when Marilyn Manson was popular, like really popular, like when he was at, I think he was dating Rose McGowan or something. Anyway, so he kicked this guy, and the guy disappeared. Like I saw his boot kick him right in the face. The guy was trying to like get up on the stage. He was trying to like breach the area, and I don't know why security, but anyway, and he just kicked him, and the guy just vanished off the planet. Like if you don't want to be here, if you hate it here, go to a Marilyn Manson concert and just get kicked in the face, and you'll leave this dimension. He'll just kick you into another dimension. Unless he no longer has that power, which, could be possible. Superheroes lose power eventually. But I've always been open-minded towards music. I still can't, like, there's these like country songs that dip in and out of my life. Like I like Shabuzi, and a couple other people. He's just one that popped in my head. But like when you ask your app to play Shabuzi, like they'll play a Shabuzi, and then whatever they play after that, I can't get into. So I country in me, and also like that sort of gothic rock. I can get in there a little bit and get a little bit out of there, but I can't go all in and get. So I'm not. I really like. I like. I don't want to say classic hip hop, like 90s and 2000 hip hop, classic rock. I guess what was it in the 90s and 2000, like alternative rock, grunge music maybe or something. Never got into like Nirvana or Green Day or anybody like that, but I liked Alice in Chains and bands like that. There's so many like not one hit wonders, but like they had like one CD. Like I used to listen to CDs, and I still have like a big cardboard box full of CDs that I just gotta basically just throw in the trash because they're just completely pointless at this point. The cigar is, wow-wee. Thing is badass. It's performing a lot better than I thought it was gonna. This is a really tough label to see. There we go. SAISON by OLIVA. It's got raised, it's got the typical raised plasticky, it's a plasticky cigar band. My fly friends are here. Yeah, it's a good cigar. Well, easily got an hour out of the cigar. Probably smoked it the way you should have. Well, everything's just hitting the fan because I'm blowing shit around. Smoked it like you should have probably. Well, a little on the slower side. Distracted by all the bugs and the super crazy good Four Roses single barrel. OESO, which is 4 roses, low rye, straight whiskey, and then the O stands for, oh, the rich ripe fruit. Man, I can't get enough of this. This is one of those videos where I'm sad that it's over. Because between this whiskey and this cigar, boy, oh boy. Yeah, I gotta get to this distillery. I gotta get to all these distilleries. I want to say I'm now getting like baking spices out of this cigar, like cinnamon and clove. Like basically shit's getting crazy over here. It's actually pretty fantastic what I'm getting here. Oh my, yeah. I'm gonna hide this bottle from myself, right? Don't anybody tell me where I hid this bottle. I'm gonna hide this bottle. Where do I hide it? Do I hide it behind other bottles that I'm not a big fan of, that I probably won't touch very often? But I drink everything I have, so. And I gotta share this. I can't just hoard this all for myself. That wouldn't be right. I got a buddy that'll really appreciate this. Because I know if I go to that store, these are gone. There's no chance. I'm proud of myself though. Proud of myself for not being greedy. You know? I'm proud of myself for that. Like one of my favorite rappers of all time, DMX, said, "Stop being greedy." You know? I mean that too. That makes me, I'll be able to sleep a little better thinking about that. I don't have a spare one of these. Because if I have a spare one, I'll just drink this whole thing, not appreciate it as much. And somebody else, hopefully like me, who appreciates it as much as me, has the opportunity to get a bottle. Probably the person that bought this is probably putting it in Diet Pepsi right now. No offense if you drink soda with your Four Roses single barrel I keep looking at the OESO. No offense, but probably should just drink this neat or with maybe an ice cube. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys are drinking, what you're smoking. You know I love to hear from you. As always, it was my pleasure. And I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers, everybody.